Take me out to see that game with all the balls. Or to the wrestling ring, best out of three falls. Donny and Randy talking wrestling and sports. We're talking the ball pit. It's the best, of course, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it, 'cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast. They're all shit. Rob watches the Lions every Sunday night. Who even know which team Paul supposedly likes? Tex likes the Cowboys, it's his only shortfall. Jason McLean, just a fan of sports ball. 'Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. Donny and Randy, they freaking called it. 'Cause it's the ball pit, the ball pit. There's no better podcast. They're all shit. With Randy Gilbert as our YouTube sports guy. Donny Cho knows shit about sports, but he'll try. Donny only knows wrestling and MMA. Together these two for the US of A.
You know,
Hey.
every time I watch this, I see something different when I see that one. And you know, when we were doing the salute, I swear you look North Korean in that one. Like you
I
ready?
am North Korean.
In that one, especially, you look almost
Yeah.
like the guy that was in Olympus Has Fallen.
No, I actually am North Korean though. I'm half North
Oh, yeah?
Korean on my dad's side. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh well,
Mhm.
I didn't. So part of you is communist? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it is what it is. You lost the Cold War. Sorry.
I'm one of them damn liberals. I like the communism.
Oh
Hell
Lord.
yeah.
Okay, what we got out there? I see Fades is out there. I see Pops is out there. We got 3. Never mind, the other one's me. Okay, that's it. That's all we got right now.
Man, we are bumping.
Well,
We're
I'm telling you,
we're whooping some ass.
we moved over to this one because we started talking. Brandy had another podcast she had to do, so instead of sitting out there
Yeah.
and just running a BS show over on the Blonde's channel, we moved over here so we could talk everything we can talk about football wise. Not football, wrestling wise. Sorry, football's tomorrow night. That's the draft tomorrow night. I'll talk about that tomorrow night.
What is the show that she's on? Just so we can give him a quick shout out or a plug or whatever.
Yeah, let me look. I had to go back to my Facebook stuff to
Lost
find
Goat
out.
Podcast is the name of the show she's on. If you guys
What is
want to abandon us because you have no loyalty, Lost Goats
Yeah.
Podcast. Let's see. Oh, yeah, she's live. It is she and Natalie and Krista. Man, those girls are all over the place.
Good for them. I don't like being stood up though.
Oh, you know what? It's Mary Lynn's show because her face is on the show logo, channel logo. Her and
Okay.
Michael. Oh, okay.
Okay.
They're in home territory. Oh, there she is, Mary Lynn. I'm watching right now.
Okay. Anyway, I am not spilling any blood.
Hey, are we allowed to cuss?
My show, my damn channel, I can cuss all I want.
Yeah.
We ain't monetized. I don't give a
I
fuck.
am the Civil War in North Korea, all in one package.
And it's battling it out in you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, Randy. So,
yeah,
something big happened. Oh, there's Keith.
Hi,
He
Keith.
says, "Cheers from Michigan." I'm gonna be lurking for a bit. He's got
All
things
right,
to do.
that works. We like lurkers.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we had to kind of cancel the show on Brandy's channel because Brandy's actually doing an appearance right now on Lost Goat Podcast.
Hmm.
Mary Lynn, feel free to check that out as well.
Yep. Good
Catch the
people.
replay of that as you watch this, or vice versa.
Versa
But
Visa.
meanwhile, yeah, we had to postpone our plans on the paranormal show and tell because we got some important things to discuss, Randy.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Yes,
some
we
big shit
do.
happened this past weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, I went to the Mineola Paracon, and I was there Friday and Saturday.
How was that? What was that like?
It was interesting. It was fun. Good turnout. I mean, of course, it rained all day Saturday, all day,
Mm.
and but we had some fun. So I won't say Paracons are not the greatest place in the world to do actual investigations because you got people rotating all around the place. So
Yeah, it's more
of course,
networking than anything, and buying
yeah,
merch, listening to
yeah,
some discussions.
yeah. That was an interesting one. So, but yeah, it was. I finally got into a place I've been trying for 3 years to get into, and needless to say, once we got in there, started doing it, I was like, well, crap, I got too many people filing in and out for me to truly set up anything. And I still got some cameras I'd set up that I've got to go back through and check out. But we'll see. Who knows after that? Outside of that, yeah, no, not much of anything really.
Mm.
Other, like I said, camped out and got cold on Saturday night, and then came home and got home just in. Well, I wouldn't say just in time to catch night two because night one of WrestleMania happened on Saturday night as well. Didn't get
So,
to watch it.
Oregon Bigfoot fade, and yes, I'm going to pronounce it that way just to annoy you. Oregon Bigfoot fade. I'm in the
Eh,
bathroom at work. You guys are with me. Oh yeah, washing them
Uh,
hands.
ew, ew, ew. Stop
Yeah.
touching yourself.
If I ever go to that state, just gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, Oregon?" I'm gonna piss everyone off. Everyone's gonna hate me.
Wait, you act like that's anything different than normal.
Yeah, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, so Saturday night, I should say. Friday night, of course, was SmackDown. That just, that go home show is supposed to be like the thing that gets everybody psyched up for Saturday, for the first
Yeah,
night of
they have
WrestleMania.
fucking what? Cody like all crying and hugging CM Punk and shit at the end of the go home show. Like that's supposed to sell WrestleMania, like being all
I was
emotional and
like,
shit.
yeah, I watched that. I was like,
Yeah.
no, because the next morning is when I watched the actual highlights and stuff. So I was like, no, no, no way to go. I mean,
Okay. Well, I mean, let's get down to brass taxes. So,
okay,
2 nights of WrestleMania.
yep.
How much of it did you watch?
I watched all of the second night, but I started it late, so I stayed away from anybody reacting to it on Facebook, and I stayed over and watched it. I watched it from the beginning because I didn't start it till like 6 o'clock, and it started at like 3 or some crap like that. So I was already well in. It was into it pretty good at that point. And I was like, nope, got to go back.
He's glad Cody didn't lose his eye. Yeah, so for me, I watched neither of the nights
Yeah,
because I was going to, and then I had asked you about how to watch it, and I
yeah,
was like, I don't want to fucking order ESPN for that shit and then forget
nah,
to cancel it. But I was thinking about it, but I was like, you know what? Let's see, let's play it by ear. So
or a
because I had
gunny.
more important, yeah, I had better shit to do that night anyway. And
Yeah,
I was listening to the post show wrap up like that night on Saturday for night
for
one,
Saturday.
and
Yeah.
everyone was talking about how bad it sucked.
Oh, it was horrid. The ones I went back and looked at, of course, the highlight of the night to me was what was the Fatu Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre, and they still had a couple of botches in that. Honestly,
I mean, they
um,
said the Cody Randy Orton match picked up. Like it,
yeah,
they said that at the end of the day, they would say it was match of the night, but it still sucked because well, we'll get into it. But
yeah,
then after that, after everything I heard about night one, I was like, fuck this, I'm not watching night two.
yeah,
Fuck that shit.
yeah. And then you got surprised, didn't you?
And Keith is like, their creative team really sucks. Yeah, their creative
Yeah,
team really does
they're
suck.
having a rough time. I don't know why they can't seem to write for nobody right now. There's one guy that, like you said, night two. There's one guy that's literally writing his own stuff as he goes along,
It
and
was
that's
supposed to
over
get
Femi.
better after Vince left, but somehow it got worse, which
There's
is
too many
weird.
bureaucrats in charge now. I mean, everybody talks about how Triple H is the creative guide or whatever. He's got to answer to corporate bigwigs, and they only give a shit about that bottom dollar, and that's it.
Yep. Yep.
But anyway, the one that's writing himself pretty much is Obafemi. And that dude on that night too was one of the better nights of wrestling I think I've ever watched. It was
Yeah, I
that
heard
good.
night two was a lot better.
I didn't care for the Intercontinental title match with the five of them or whatever, however many it was on the ladder stuff. But they always throw one of those in every year. I don't. I'm not a big Penta fan to start with. Hey, Werewolf, what's going on? Ah,
Keith says
Myra. Hi, Myra.
TKO. Keith says TKO is the problem. Exactly, Randy. Too much
Yep,
corporate garbage.
it is. There's a lot of it, and because you didn't get this kind of stuff when Vince was solely running, and we're talking about the 80s and 90s Vince. We're not talking about, you know, the public traded company WWE. I'm talking about old Titan Towers Vince. You know, everybody hated him, but you know what? He knew how to put on good TV, and he knew how to put on good events and time it perfectly. Unfortunately, these guys now just they something is missing, and I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. Now the level of performers after you get past that main event kind of drops dramatically. Don't get me wrong, because there's not great mid carders right now. Other
Well, they
than
could be. Here's the thing: there could be if they were given the opportunity to shine, but they
exactly,
don't. They don't give them that.
exactly. I mean, they buried up both the MFTs and let's just say SmackDown only right now. The
Mhm.
MFTs and the Wyatt Six. You got Joe Gacy and freaking Dexter Loomis in the Wyatt Six. Not to mention even Bo Dallas, who's Uncle Howdy. Those dudes can go if given the opportunity. But they're saddled with this gimmick, and it's a cool gimmick. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. It's funny at times. It's weird at times. Nikki Cross is the legit women's wrestler. The
Yeah.
only stiff in that bunch is Eric Rowan, really, but he's just there to be the big muscle, and that's it. But Loomis and Gacy, you watch their tag team matches when they had the titles and stuff on the tag team titles. They were having some good matches. They really were. MFTs. I mean, come on. You got a work rate machine, which is Tama Tonga. Okay. That dude, he was a beast in New Japan, so I
Oh
don't even
wait,
want
hold
to take
on. I'm interested in this. Keith says
oh
another big turnoff for me is the wrestlers broadcasting their ideology and political beliefs. Which
they
wrestlers
need
were
it
getting all that political?
on the show, nobody, but he's talking about
Or
people that get out there and they start like Mick Foley quit because he didn't
oh
like
yeah,
that they
because of
were
Trump.
because of Trump. I mean, I understand owning your beliefs. I get it. But, you know, Mick Foley's
Who
already a
else
made
got
man. He don't have to
got
worry
real
about
political? I'm
it.
trying to think.
Ava was
Who?
one that quit. Ava, the one that was the Rock's daughter that was
Oh
in
yeah.
charge of NXT, she quit or she didn't sign her new contract because she didn't
Oh,
want to deal with it.
she quit because of politics? I thought she
I
quit
think
because she
that's
sucked
the
at
rumor.
wrestling.
That's the rumor.
Oh.
I can't tell you for sure, but that was the rumor.
Is she
Um,
another one of them dirty liberals, Rainey? Them dirty liberals?
I don't know about all that, but either way, I don't call right wingers or liberals dirty at all. You have your
Oh.
beliefs, just don't try and force them on me. Period.
They're them dirty ass liberals,
Dirty.
them
Hey,
Democrats.
I oh
They're
Nemo. Nemo's
Democrats.
late this time. Looky there.
Yeah, we're getting all political, Nemo Veer.
No,
We're
we're
talking
not.
about them
No, we're not.
Democrats.
I don't talk politics ever. Worst thing in
Oh
the
no,
world is
Oregon Bigfoot Fade. I'm just in a different part of my room. I'm just setting it up. We're getting ready to move, so
yeah.
soon.
So all right. So let's talk about night one. It opens up. Everybody gets the
Mhm.
big week. Oh, looky here. John Cena's the host. Did they ever even announce that John Cena was going to be the host at
Oh yeah,
all?
didn't they say he was never coming back to WrestleMania? And next WrestleMania,
Well,
bam, he's the
but
first
he's the
face you
host. He's
see.
not wrestling. He's the host.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my biggest
Oh
question then.
well, Sami Zayn is Syrian. I mean, he's got to have an opinion. And Punkin is white.
No, he's Israeli.
No, Sami Zayn is Syrian.
I could have swore somebody said he was
Look
Jewish.
it up.
Like he wouldn't
I
go
swear
to.
to God, look it up. Sami Zayn is Syrian. He's Muslim, dude.
Let me
Google
look.
that shit for real.
I'm
Google
doing
that
it
shit
right
right
now.
now. Google that shit right now.
Sami Zayn.
He says it. He's from Syria, dude. That homeboy from Damascus.
Huh.
Oregon Bigfoot Fate says I
Syrian
voted for
descent.
ice spiders. What kind of ridiculousness is that? Ice
You're right. He's
spiders. What?
Syrian descent.
Yeah. That dude's Syrian, man. He's an Arab. He's the least looking Arab dude there is.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have thought. I thought he was because he would not go to Saudi Arabia on one of their first
It's
little
because
trips,
he's Syrian, and yeah, it's
and they didn't get along. I
because
thought it was
it's
because he
it's
was
a different
the way.
it's a different branch of Islam.
Yeah, you got the
Yeah,
Sunnis and you got the Shiites with
yeah.
Syria. I thought Syrians were Sunni as well because that's the same thing as what Saudi Arabians are as Sunnis. The Shiites are mainly in your upper areas of Iraq and Iran,
Mhm.
different area. But you never know. You just never know, honestly.
Damn, you didn't know he was Syrian?
No, I
Damn.
thought he was Israeli actually because that's
Yeah,
the
that's why
only
he's
reason
all
I
like
the only reason I ever thought about him not going to Saudi Arabia because he was Israeli. But I don't care one way or the other because, quite frankly, it's getting to the point that the crowd's turning on him anyway. So,
Well, that's
but
good.
anywho, um, so we start off with L.A. Knight, Jimmy
Oh, he
Uso,
caught
and
Punk bashing white people on another show. He's a top-notch idiot.
he
Oh.
might have. I mean, if you're gonna take Zane's one of them. I mean, he doesn't really let it out a whole lot, but I mean, think about who we're talking about, though. We're talking about WWE and people in the WWE who put Muhammad Hassan, who is an
Oh,
Italian, to
look at
start
this
with.
one here. Little
Mm.
Mikey's like, my baby Paige is back. Oh, yeah. Give us your thoughts on Paige coming back, Randy.
Holy fucking shit! Why? Exactly.
What?
Honestly, I
What do you
never
got against
have.
Paige? They
I
made a
don't. It's
movie
not
with
that I don't
her.
have anything against Paige. You know how many times Paige was with the Bellas when she was originally there?
Yeah, she's
Zero.
yeah.
This is doing nothing but trying to get the Bellas back over again, and that was it. And the Bellas suck, and not in a good way.
Well, I was like, yo, is she even ring ready? I mean, the whole reason why she quit in the first place is because she had those
I tell you
injury
what,
issues.
that she didn't look too bad, honestly. The
Well,
replays
yeah,
I
she
saw,
had time to recover,
that
yeah.
rampage that she hit, what's her name with, uh, Alexa Bliss. That rampage she hit her with was pretty well executed.
You know, I used to have a real thing for her back in the day,
I didn't. I thought it
back
was
in the
kind of cool when
Disney.
she played the little quiet, shy one the one that came out of NXT and beat AJ Lee the first night or
I
whatever.
thought there was something about that real pale skin that made her stand out. I don't know.
Okay, but well, if you're
It's an
gonna do that,
Asian
that
thing.
means
I think
if,
she appealed to my Asian sensibilities there,
if that's the
Randy.
case, you must really love freaking Sheamus, huh?
Yeah, I was like so disappointed when she wound up hooking up with fucking shitbag Del Rio there.
I'm gonna
I
hold
was
this
so
one over her head
disappointed.
for a while. When I get home, I'm packing into your shower, Randy.
Yeah.
God, I love it when you mess up fades. Anywho, all right, so you got LA Knight, the Usos. They're going against Austin Theory and Logan Paul, who are pretty much might as well have fallen off the face of the earth because nobody gives a shit about the vision no more already. And this I Show Speed guy, okay,
I show
young
speed, yeah.
young rapper kid, I guess is what he is.
No, he's an influencer.
He's an influencer. Okay,
Yeah, he's a YouTube guy.
well, we can talk about Monday Night Raw after this because there was a thing last night I watched on Monday Night Raw with Logan Paul, and he was doing it tongue in cheek and talk about we do not need these YouTube influencers coming in here and messing with our business like that. And I'm just
That
like,
was funny.
he's about to bust out laughing.
Oh man,
He is.
my rag Utsan says I don't follow wrestling. Lol. Have a
No,
great
that's
night, guys.
Myra Goodson. That's the Aurora brothel.
Yo, You should stick with us. We will teach you about the joys of wrestling. There's some YouTube videos I would recommend for you to check out, and you would love wrestling. It's the best. It's the best form of entertainment, in my opinion.
It's all good, Myra. Either way, it's all good. But
Yeah,
anywho, yeah. So end up that filler. It's a curtain jerk moment. You know what I mean? It's literally a
yeah.
curtain jerk moment. You've got poor old LA Knight can get the crowd going with the best of them, but the more botches he does, the more he screws
Was
himself
he still
over.
botching it up? Oh
I don't
man,
think he
that's not
botched on this
coordinated.
one, but that last one he did, yeah. Mm, when he fell off the ropes, did you? I think I sent you that
I
video
saw
from
that.
the
Yeah, I
ropes.
saw
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
when he came off the ropes, and I'm like, dude, y- you're too old to be botching anything because you botch it, you're going to be in a world of hurt. You know,
yeah.
you're video pros too. It looks like.
My video.
Yeah, you were stuck there for a while. I'm looking at him like, what the heck's going on?
No, I just sit there very still. I'm a Zen master.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, but so it
Yes,
ends up,
wrestling was last century. That's kind of true. Well,
yeah,
till the Attitude Era was a little bit into the 21st, but it's kind of on the border. But
yeah, but it was on the
I know what you're
very edge
saying.
of it. Yeah, definitely. I'm personally 70s and 80s. Personally, I like that best. But anyway, yeah, it was not. It wasn't great, but they worked around where Speed ended up being doing a turn, and after they lost, Logan Paul tried to turn on him, and they came back. The Usos and them came back, and they laid Paul out in that match. So that is what it is. But then the good old fashioned beat the hell out of each other type unsanctioned match. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
That was a decent little brawl. What little bit I got to watch of it, what little bit I paid attention to, a decent little
I
brawl.
heard it went against the concept of an unsanctioned match because it's like the whole point of unsanctioned is supposed to be like all hardcore and shit.
Well, they did do a little hardcore, but they didn't do a
Yeah,
whole lot of it. They really didn't do a whole lot.
that's the
No.
whole point.
Exactly. Unsanctioned. You're supposed to be beating the ever loving crap out of each other with everything. You know what I mean? They had a toolbox.
Hmm.
They had a toolbox. He tried to use oh, what was it? I can't remember if it was a screwdriver or a hammer or something, and got pulled out. And then Jacob Fatu hit Drew with a toolbox shot. And I'm like, but the spots, man, that the spots were okay because you got, jumping to one table to the other, and they're throwing each other on those announce tables. And then when Jacob Fatu finally, out of the blue, I shouldn't say out of the blue, he stopped McIntyre from doing one thing, and then put him on a table and did that jump up moonsault that he does through the table and done. I'm like, kind of anticlimactic,
Yeah.
Nemo, yeah, you have a referee, but it it's only to count three. That's it. They're not allowed to do. They don't not supposed to do anything. Even though that ref kept telling them, "Don't do this, don't do that." Dude, get out the way.
Well, Mikey's like, man, those influencers were kind of showing up the actual wrestlers. Lol. I
Mm,
know. Well, I mean, they
well,
did well. I mean, for
yeah,
non wrestlers.
because quite frankly, Logan Paul, I don't care what anybody says. He might not have paid his dues like other wrestlers have, but he's probably one of the better heels on the mic, and people just love to hate him. You know what I mean? And he's
Mhm.
athletic as hell. So you can't take that away from the guy. Hi, Mickey.
Oh, hey, it's
So,
Mickey G. What
and then
up?
after that, they go into that fiasco of Paige and Bella against all the others. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, Charlotte's
Wait,
got
who was it against the Bella twins when Paige showed up?
you
Who was
have
their
you
opponent?
had Brie Bella and Paige. They went against Nia Jax and Lash Legend, and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair and Lyra Valkyria and Bailey. First of all, Bailey don't
It was
like
like a
Paige.
four-way?
Yeah, it was a 4-way, but
Oh,
Bailey don't
yeah,
like Paige to start with, and I don't think
yeah.
she knew about it, judging from the looks on her face that I saw, and the way she left the area after it was over with. I don't think Bailey was happy that Paige
Why do
was
you
back.
think Bailey doesn't like them?
Well, I don't know, honestly. I would have to do some more digging because Bailey usually never gets mad at anybody or doesn't like
Right.
anybody. You know what I mean? In fact, if anybody's been paying attention, there's a big thing out there about freaking CM Punk crashing on somebody because they were filming at the hotel. They were at the hotel, and Bailey's hugging AJ because they were friends for a long time, and she's giving her a hug. And this dude tried to get up on him and try to video him, and they're like, "Dude, get out of here, leave us alone," type thing or whatever. And the dude's trying to walk away, and Punk guys up, just grab it, slam the dude's uh, phone
Good
onto
for
the
him,
ground.
man. Yeah, they can't be
And
disrespecting them like that.
exactly. And people were like, "Oh, he should not have done that to him or whatever." No, let that son of a bitch sue because, quite frankly, if the WWE doesn't back up Punk and something like that, every other motherfucker out there is going to pull that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You leave them the hell alone. I never even went up to a wrestler for an so much as an autograph when I saw him outside of, in normal settings, where they're just a person. Then, you know what I mean? Leave them the hell alone.
yeah.
So that's just my opinion. But you got the ones. You got the ones. Now there's a kid out there called WWE Kid or whatever he is. He goes to all the events. His dad takes him to all the events, and he tries to get. He's That's where I was like, Liv Morgan for the way she is in the ring and stuff, and you want to call her a bitch and everything like that. Woman is one of the most nicest women to people out there in the street type thing, or at the entrances and stuff. She took pictures with this kid through the chain link fence, and signed stuff for him, and gave it to him. And I'm like, she's as nice as she could be to everybody. Seems like
Yeah.
so.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Keith. They're not going to hire the star security because that would cut into their profit all the way around. They don't
Right.
care. I don't think they care. But that's just me. Well, they care, but they're not going to put any money out for it. But TKO is trying to do this. I think who is it? Ariel Hawani or whatever is the one that owns it or the one running it or whatever.
No. Errol Hawani's the reporter.
Okay, Ariel something.
Um, Ari Emanuel is the guy
Ari
who owns it.
Emanuel. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah. I always see Ariel Hawani because he's
Errol
always
Hawani's
interviewing
the
them all.
interview. He's the
Yeah, he's
MMA
on it.
interviewer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Tells you how much I pay attention to it. But he does a lot of the wrestling interviews too. So, but anyway, so the WWE in their infinite wisdom agrees to take one, two, three, four, five, six legitimate performers on their roster and job them out to a quote unquote returning. I don't want to say legend because she's no legend
Mhm.
at all. Her biggest claim to
She
fame
was.
is being on a freaking sex tape. That's her biggest claim to fame with
Hmm.
Brad freaking Maddox. Remember the guy that was the referee and then supposedly was working with the Shield and the blah 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 blah. That
Yeah.
dude, yeah, that's the one that's on there. All before she started getting involved with Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, no, I got nothing nice to say about Paige. Don't know her. I'm not going to say she's an evil person, or nothing, but she doesn't portray her. She doesn't set herself up for success very much. So,
Hmm.
yes, Ohio Bigfoot fade or correction, Oregon Bigfoot fade. Ohio Bigfoot. She's going to kill me for that one. Uh, Wrestling is a sport,
I
especially
think
when you talk about
it's an
amateur.
art and a sport.
Yeah, because anybody looks at those guys and tells me you don't think they're going to hurt. Look at Cody Rhodes' eye after Friday night. That dude, good lord. After that, I know I'm jumping a little bit because okay, so Becky Lynch beats AJ Lee as well to win the uh, women's intercontinental title. Then you got Gunther beating Seth Rollins after Braun Breaker comes back. These are all honestly these have turned into throwaway matches at this point because Gunther I knew was going to beat Rollins, but they kind of screwed around by Braun Breaker come back and spear him a couple of times, and then Gunther slaps on the sleeper and away it goes. Eh, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think it taints Gunther's win, but I wanted Gunther hopefully they work this out, but I hope Gunther can actually get a retirement angle with Brock Lesnar. We'll talk about that.
Well, I think that ship has sailed already, you know?
Well, yeah, but I think never say never. You know what I mean? So, uh, and then you had the what I
But
wanted to
then
see the
again,
most,
you got one guy retiring Brock Lesnar and John Cena. I mean,
and AJ Styles.
and oh yeah, and AJ Styles.
Yeah. So I mean, but that would be the thing where Brock Lesnar could actually whip his ever loving ass and then put his gloves down and say, "See, I'm not done. I could beat your ass even as an old man," type thing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He could
Yeah.
just be right on top of him. Um, that's just my personal opinion. But once again, that's something that they need to sit down and go through. Uh, they need to go through and actually kind of work their creative a lot more. So,
Mm.
um, Keith's right. Now I was getting to it here, but the next one was going to be the World Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan and Stephanie Becker. I think they've had to work precariously around Becker because she's been hurt the majority of her reign. Because you know how many title defenses she's actually got. She beat Nikki Bella once. She's had 4 matches
Look
with
here.
Raquel Rodriguez, and now this one with Liv Morgan.
Mm.
She's not
Yeah.
really done a whole lot since having the title, but they haven't written her to the point that they can, and she's been hurt a lot of it.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of figured they were going to get the title off of her and give it to Liv because I think that's where they need to have it. They need to have it on a heel where Stephanie can go back after her after that. You know what I mean? And chase her. That's what puts butts in the seats. Them chasing a heel.
He's got a
So,
question.
hmm,
With the shot Cody took, the punt, I'm assuming he's talking about, was
yeah,
that a receipt or was that an accident?
I think that was an accident because when
Yeah,
when
that
it
was an
happened,
accident.
if you watch after it happened, freaking Orton turned around and you could see the shock on his face because he knew how hard he hit it by accident. Because I think he wasn't expecting Cody to have his full head in the way, and when he did it, you could see him turn around and he just looked in shock. And then he went over and actually put his hand on him to check on him before he went back up the ramp. I honestly
Yeah.
think he did it by accident. Texas hiding fades. He's been hiding for 2 months now,
Yeah.
and he's staying hiding. He's been doing a lot of work in his yard. So
Oh, he's been doing it. Yeah, I saw pictures.
yeah,
You'll see him one day. Don't worry. He will
oh yeah,
appear when
he
you
will
least
appear.
expect him.
Yep. And
His
so
return
yeah,
is imminent. He's like
when
Paige. He's coming back.
you gotta be kidding me. I was like one of my buddies from the army. He texted me as I'm out over at Mineola, and he texted me the thing. He says, "What the hell? They just going to give it to? They might as well just give it to the Bellas after bringing her back." It's like what? I went back and looked. Oh, dude, I shook my head. I told him, I said, "I don't know what the fuck they're thinking." But yeah, no, I did not like the return of Paige. The championship match was actually pretty good, from what I understand, and what I fast forwarded through a lot of it just so I could catch up on it all. But Rhodes and Orton put on a good show. The whole Pat McAfee crap didn't even need to be there. It was a joke. It should have never even been worried about
I guess it was
Jelly
for the
Roll.
pop of him watching him getting RKO'd. I guess.
Well, that and Jelly Roll putting him through a table.
Yeah.
And Jelly Roll's lost so much weight, he don't hold the damn uh the body mass he used to. So you got to be afraid he's going to break something too.
Yeah.
But anywho, yeah, that was one of those. I just didn't. It was okay, but at this point, I think I'm over Rhodes too. Honestly, I'm just over Cody Rhodes. It's
Wait.
kind of
So he hasn't come back. So because he's a SmackDown guy, right? So you
yeah,
haven't seen his
yeah. Oh
return. I
yeah,
wonder.
he was on
Do
Raw.
you think they're turning him? Do you think they're turning him heel?
Well, let's put it this way:
They
on
kind of have to
Raw,
at this
he
point.
came out. Punk came out to talk about, and just as a spoiler now, yeah, everybody knows it. But Punk loses the world title. He's out on
Mm.
Raw talking, and here comes Cody Rhodes comes out telling that, and he hinted, he kind of had some dickish language when he was talking about him being
Mhm.
kind. I'm the one that should feel like a loser as bad as I got beat up. And Punk is like, wait, you think I should be feeling like a loser right now? Kind of leaning into. They're getting ready to do a Punk Cody angle, I think. So we'll see. But anywho, yeah, it's
Oh, Punk versus Cody angle? Yay.
yep. I think that's what.
That
Yeah,
hasn't been done before.
actually, I don't think it has.
Hmm.
I don't think they've ever wrestled each other one on one before that I know of. They didn't do it in AEW at all
Oh,
that I
yeah.
know of.
There aren't any more. There's no more combinations, I guess.
Yeah, Keith, this is now you get me into what I like to talk about speculation. Tomatonga seems to be turning face. Yes, he does, and he's sick and tired of uh what's his name Solo messing up. So last week he was getting ready to finish one off. Solo tagged himself in and got the pin, and
Yep.
Tomatonga looked like he's ready to kill him for it. Now, anybody that knew anything about New Japan and the original Bullet Clubs or the Bullet Club in general knows Tomatonga was part of it. So was Talatonga, which is Hikuleu, is who he is. They're both sons of Haku. You know what? Ditch the mini Uso, which is Solo, and get Haku in there to be their manager and let them be
No,
the
I'm
Tongans.
TKO. That's not in TKO's wheelhouse. They're not
Oh
all
no,
about.
no, I agree,
Yeah,
100%. But
you
that
got to
would
be
be
deep into the fandom to appreciate that kind of shit.
well. That's just it. The ones that are watching SmackDown and watching him do understand it because they're the
Yeah,
more SmackDown's always been the more work rate oriented brand,
yeah,
which is why they put Rhodes on there because Rhodes was a more of a worker than Seth Rollins is. Now Seth Rollins was good, but he kept getting he once again hurt. Rhodes early on hurt, but then he's been for 3 years now. He's been relatively unhurt. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I mean, you get more tag team matches, you get more women's matches, you get more of everything on SmackDown because you have people there that can work. And they do work. They don't just sit there and do interviews for a 3 hour process of a show.
yeah.
Um, so
Now,
yeah.
talk a bit about the main criticism I guess a lot of people had about both nights was just the overabundance of commercials and advertisements.
Oh yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cutting into
Because
the in-ring time because it was like what, a 90-minute show or like a 3-hour show, but then like an hour worth of wrestling or some weird shit like that?
you had all the hootenanny in it, and it's about 5 hour show each night. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, think about it. Think about the entrances alone on night two. I sat there and watched the two entrances of Roman Reigns and freaking CM Punk.
Mhm.
It had to have taken a half an hour all
Right.
total. Had to have. Yes, Keith,
They
I've been
said
there.
that they said that Cody's entrance alone was longer than the entire Liv Morgan match.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Does not surprise me in a bit. Because then you got Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. They come in, but there's no real long. They got their normal entrances for the most part, and those tend to take a little bit longer for those two, but not near as long as those ones for that last. I mean, we're talking 3-4 minutes is what these guys were
Right.
because they were in there ready to get going. You know what I mean? They were billed as the big bad, you know, for Jim Rossism, the slobber knocker that we were going to get ready to see in night two. They were just big beef in there. You know what I mean? I did not like the ads. I'm with you. I don't like it because now you're sitting there paying for this and you still have to have ads.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Oh my, it's
I
like
agree.
so many ads.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, you're for raw. Yeah. Keith was like over 2 hours of commercials.
100%. That's the biggest from both of them, from both nights. That was probably the biggest detractor to the whole thing. Oh, and
Name over
don't
here is
show
like,
me. What?
Hold on. Neil Veer's like, surprised one of the storylines isn't someone complaining about all the nepotism in wrestling. Well, they've had promos that have addressed that.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Nepo babies. Just ask
Nepo babies.
that Friday Night SmackDown. They were
Yep.
talking about Nepo babies.
Yep.
But there's one Fatu they don't have, and that's Zilla Fatu. He's still out doing shows out, in the you want to call them indies or whatever. MLW. He's on MLW. He just had a match this last weekend at um, something X Pro or whatever it is that they did a show on. I guess on Friday, and he had a match with Killer Cross. And
Yeah.
Killer Cross told him after the match that, dude, they're gonna come asking for you. They're gonna come looking for you because you can go in there and create your own bloodline with just you and your because he's cousins with Jacob and all that jazz. You'd have so many faction of bloodlines by the time that happened, but you know, have a good night, Keith. Take it easy.
Have a good one, man.
But yeah, so no, the nepotism that they just keep trying to rehash it. They banned Ric Flair from WrestleMania.
I could see that. He's been having a weird relationship with WWE lately.
He's had a weird relationship with everybody lately.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's drunk all the damn time. He treats
I don't
everybody.
understand how that guy's still alive. Like, how are his kidneys
Shouldn't
and
be.
liver still functioning?
I don't know, because he wasn't supposed to be drinking after that last bout in the hospital a couple of years ago. They were
Yeah.
telling him he wasn't supposed to, and then next thing you know, 6 months later, he's getting drunk in a hotel bar, berating people.
I mean, he's like my canary in a coal mine. For as old as he is, for him to be drinking that much, I'm like, and all the shit he's put his body through, I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
could keep drinking if I wanted to.
Yep.
I should just drink all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think you should too.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, let me see here real quick. I did grab to these because there's some Cody from that first night. And, you got Becky winning,
Becky.
and you got there's the Black Widow that AJ was putting on Becky, but Becky got to the ropes on that one. That was the one I waited for. I wanted to go back and watch that one in full. Enjoyed it. They those two really work well together. Let me see what else did we have that night that I've actually got pictures of. Now this one, this was he was doing that top rope Cody cutter thing that he does, and as he's going off, guess what? RKO out of nowhere.
KO. Yep. That's
Caught
the
him.
face Randy gives when he's about to RKO your ass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Little
And
Mikey
when he
says, makes sense. Lol, that guy hasn't slowed down. Apparently, still hits on young women, so I could see why.
yes
Yep.
he does.
Good old
That's
Ric
what I hear.
Flair.
I ain't no good old
Reliable as
about
the
it.
tide.
See, there was Braun Breaker had come back like we talked about. It's like I'm the other one. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Sleeper, sleeper, sleeper. I know I got a sleeper. Yeah, there we go. There's Gunther choking out Seth Rollins there. I was a happy person with that one actually. So, but night one, it had some high spots, but it was not WrestleMania caliber. Remember last year when night one, the end of the night was the 3-way with uh Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, where they main
Yeah.
evented night one.
Yeah.
That match alone was better than anything on Friday night or Saturday night, I should say. Save
Hmm.
the save the women's world title match anyway. Like I said, that one was one I was interested in because I think, like I said, I still think Stephanie Vaquer is hurt and she's still trying to just kind of muddle through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it all happened. It all happens for a reason every time. Night two,
Hmm.
night two, night two, night two.
Good old night two.
It started off with that.
What was the average price of a ticket? Way too high.
Yeah.
Still. But
Bunch of
thankfully, Ram Trucks was very merciful and gave people discounts. So thank you, Ram Trucks.
yay, I think.
Yay. 25% discount for night one.
I mean, honestly, yeah, huh? Yeah. Hey, Oba coming down. I'm telling you, we sat right there and we talked about this even with Brian Alvarez that time we were on here with Tex,
Hmm.
and he was talking. I told him, I said, I think the one coming out of NXT that everybody needs to watch is Obafemi because he's the one that has the entire package. He really does, and people are really starting to buy into him. Now especially. Rumor has it, and it's a straight out rumor. Can't say that. Brock handpicked him for this. He wanted to do this at WrestleMania, which makes me have so much even more respect for Brock Lesnar because he's doing right by the business in this situation. Then, if that's what he planned to do and retire, and he does stay retired, he did it 100% right, 100% right. But he will still always be a beast,
Yeah.
always be a beast. And and finishes up, and when he did that right there, I was sitting there going, just it jaw dropped. I did not expect him to, do that. But
Is Randy wearing a Baskin Robbins hat?
no, this is a Well Seals hat. I work for Well Seals.
Hmm.
This is a oil well servicing company. But anyway, so after that, we get the insane Intercontinental Ladder match. I did not get any pictures of it because I couldn't hardly find any worth of crap. Um,
Who were involved?
do what? This
Who?
was Penta, Javon Evans, JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. Rusev's
Hmm.
the only big man out of the whole bunch, and he's not the biggest of big men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he had a lot to share, but Rusev's the agile guy, so he can go with these littler guys. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But there are parts that were just kind of botchy, I guess. Just didn't
Yeah.
look quite right. I mean, but once again, Javon Evans, great kid and everything, high flyer, can do anything, and as tall as he goes so far when he jumps. He could do full flips and land on his feet outside the ring, type thing.
Yeah.
But he went for a Rusev was climbing the ladder. Javon jumps on and does that OG cutter from the top rope, and you could see he was going to miss it. Really, he didn't jump far enough into where Rusev was, and Rusev came off the ladder to make sure he got into it for him. So that way, he covered his mistake. But it was so obvious it wasn't even funny. So, and of course, Penta won it easily. So another one I'm really not super into is Penta. I'm just
No.
not that into him for whatever reason.
Is it his in-ring work or the way he's been booked?
No, because he was in AEW. Him and Ray Phoenix, they're brothers, and they were both in AEW for so long, and they made a big deal about them coming up from AEW to WWE. Do I think they're serviceable? Don't get me wrong; they're fantastic athletes. But I've seen the damn Canadian Destroyer done on 100 people by Petey Williams and not get a pinfall one. He does what
Yeah.
they call the Mexican Destroyer and pins everybody.
Yeah,
Uh,
which is just
His his Mexican Destroyer is not near as good looking as what Petey Williams' Canadian Destroyer was.
Mhm.
Not even close.
Hmm.
So, but that's just druthers. I mean, people, you always have somebody you like, somebody you don't like. That's just the name of
Yeah.
the game. You know what I mean?
It's just, I guess, preference. Everyone's got their little things.
Hmm.
You know how it is.
Well, yeah, and then this guy. There's another one, Trick Williams. He came up. He's another one. He's full blown Booker T mode. You know what I mean? He
Mhm.
literally has all the attributes that Booker T had when he was
Hmm.
coming up. I'm interested to see how they work with him because they need to get that little yachty out of the way because that dude does not need to be involved. He needs to go away. Nobody likes hearing him. Nobody likes being around him, or as far as the fans go, I should say. And especially he's taking mic time away from Trick. Really, if you want to get right down to it.
Yeah.
So now, one I didn't mention though, Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, Demon. He came out as the Demon. Unfortunately, it's another one that should have been better than what it was. Finn Balor tried to do a lot of stuff that he could do. Okay, yeah, but it's typical demon stuff, and he wasn't with the same level of viciousness that he used to when he was demon. Remember when the demon went against Samoa Joe in NXT many years ago?
Yeah,
That
I
was the
remember that.
demon I remember. This was just a sugar coated demon here. He did win with a coup de grace through a table, and when he landed it and the table broke, he ended up stepping right on Dominic's face. So it's probably good he didn't hurt the guy really bad, but he just it just didn't click. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
Dominic Mysterio's actually one of the bright up and comers. If you want to get right down to it, he's doing very well for himself too.
yeah,
He
yeah.
he can
No,
make the
he's
crowd.
thriving,
He can get the crowd so pissed off at him just by looking at him funny, and that's a true heel. You know what I mean?
and he's still young too, so he's got a ways
Oh
to
yeah.
go.
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
a long way to go. You know, and okay, and then you got the two big dogs, the two big matches on Sunday night. My girl, yeah,
Rhea Ripley.
Rhea is a beast.
Hmm.
Rhea will always be a beast.
Yep.
That girl, holy crap, what a match! And I've always been a Jade basher. I don't care for Jade Cargill either.
Mhm.
She's sloppy. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's being shoehorned into a spot she's not ready for, just like they did her in AEW too. She has 4 or 5 moves, and that's it. And she's sloppy with them. So what do you do? I mean, if you shove her in, like she's literally defending what 3 times. One was against Jordan Grace, hurt her. One was against she did defend against Meechin 2 or 3 times actually. I don't know if it was defense or not, but she fought Meechin 2 or 3 times, which then Meechin turned around and became part of her entourage. Uh, and then and that's Meechin is Mia Yim to anybody that actually listened or understood, watched her in actual wrestling world like NXT and out. I think she was in New Japan for a while too, if I remember right.
And in Korean means crazy.
What's that?
It means crazy.
What's that? Mia Yim?
Michin. Yeah,
Michin?
yeah,
Yeah, that they gave her that name when she got hooked up with AJ Styles when they were doing the OC Club back when or whatever.
yeah.
But anyway, but Mia Yim is her name, and she was she's that Brooklyn brawler of the women's division. You know what I mean? She's the one you send out there to make people look good, and she could not even make Jade Cargill look good. She looks sloppy. She does that little axe handle kick thing of hers. You know, the pump kick that it looks bad. It just looks bad. You know what I mean? She doesn't land it right. When she does land it, she stumbles over the person she landed it on. Um, in this match, I watched her grow though as a performer. I watched her learn how to work a crowd and get them pissed off at her. I watched her learn how to play off of Rhea and Rhea showing her how to play off of her. You know what I mean? And not be sloppy about it. But she was sloppy a couple of times, but she botched a couple of things. Like you had Meechin and that B-Fab come down and try to help, right? Well, Io Sky come down to help as well. When she comes down to help, Mia or Io goes to jump on the second rope to do her moonsault onto those two on the outside. At that point, Jade Cargill's in the ring trying to about to turn and give a boot to her. She's literally running and doing that axe boot of hers, that little pump boot, that pump kick. She goes to try and do it. Well, Mia or Io Sky's already doing a damn backflip out of there. It made her look like a complete and utter idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, just look like a fool trying to do it. So I think she's got a great ceiling, but she's hurting. She's like Bianca Belair to me. She has no charisma, no actual talent. Let's just say it that way. Talent. They're botch fests. That's exactly what they are.
Botch fest.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at least I don't have to deal with Bianca Belair for any time soon, though. She's pregnant.
Yep.
She came
She
out
is
and showed
pregnant.
herself was pregnant. So I'm like, thank God. Stay away.
Hmm.
Much the way I feel about Trinity Pie too. You're pregnant. Stay away. Don't ever want to see you again.
Oregon says, I was on probation for 14 days today. Was my first day. YouTube let me change my name back. Aha.
Ooh, yeah. YouTube's demonetizing a shit ton of people too.
Well, I was never monetized, so they go fuck
Yeah,
themselves.
that's kind of the way I am. But people like Weird Darkness, Darren Marlar, he's out there. He's been doing this shit for 10, 15 years on YouTube. All of a
Oh, Weird
sudden
Darkness got demonetized? Why?
yeah, Weird Darkness got
Their
demonetized.
shit's
He does.
good.
He didn't say for sure one way or the other, but somebody said something or reported him about something that isn't true. I bet.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that really perturbs the what out of me because anybody's ever listened to Weird Darkness, go out and listen to it because you can listen to it on
Yeah,
the
that's someone who
on
actually
his
puts effort
podcast
into their
side.
content.
Yeah, because Darren Marlar, he is a master storyteller. He will sit there. He's like the Paul Harvey of the weird story. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed his. In fact, we used when I was doing the KPNL stuff, I'd get all his shows after the fact, and I'd put them out there to on KPNL as well. So loved his stuff. But so anyway, Rhea ends up beating Jade. Let me see if I think I got a picture. Got her laying flat, knocked her out. This is the spot here though that I noticed that Jade had actually, how can I put it? She had matured the most and had developed the most. She
Yeah.
went to do that little implant buster finisher of hers, or
Mhm.
jaded, or whatever they call it. It's nothing
Mhm.
but an implant buster, is what it is.
The
Yes,
scissor move.
you can thank uh, Awesome Kong for that. So,
Hmm.
but she goes to do it, and freaking Rhea comes down, drops to a knee, holds her arm, and slides up underneath her, and goes straight into a riptide. And I'm just like, that was so slick, and Jay did not do anything to abrupt. She rolled right with it and did exactly what she's supposed to do and made it look freaking amazing. Now she's still a little bit of a sandbag when it comes to trying to somebody lifting her up and planting her or whatever, but that's shit she learns, as with more and more practice. But and she's just there's another one, nicest woman in the world if you ever met her offline. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Great lady, and you could tell she is scared at times. She's scared
Yeah.
something's going to happen. So I imagine she's doing a lot of stuff with a little reflection type thing.
Hmm.
So that finishes up. Then we get the fun part. Y'all know me and my. I did not like this dude at first.
Danhausen?
I didn't like the fact that he was the one in the cut box and so forth. So on. That was the stupidest shit in the world. This dude's funny as shit, is what he is. He is funny as shit because they're doing John Cena saying goodbye. He's like, hey, I'm done with my duties for the night. We're about to have the main event, so forth, so on. And here comes the Miz and that freaking Kit, whatever the hell his name is. Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson. That's his name. Toxic Boy. So I'm thinking, okay, this ought to be kind of cool. Well, here comes Danhausen to put a stop to that BS. Let's see if I can find that one. I thought I downloaded another one with the mini me's, the mini Housens. Yeah, got Little Hausen. This picture right here, because Danhausen is telling that, hey, you're going to be cursed. You need to do this, whatever it was. And all these little guys, they want to be called Manhausen, is what wanted to be called. Guys like, why they want to be called Manhausen? Because they told everybody we're midgets, damn it. Don't take that away from us. We're midgets.
Yeah. I'm surprised that WWE seems to be doing better with Danhausen than AEW ever did.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think because this is a role that was made for him though. This comedy role and screwing people like the Miz because nobody plays off him better than the Miz. Look at the Miz's face right there. Okay,
Yeah.
there was a spot I couldn't find it, but there was a spot after all this. Now this is where dude walked up and Kid is posing in front of him after telling them they're all toxic. He tells him, he said, Little Hausen or whatever, take care of this. He walks up, looks at him, dude starts flexing like that, and just punches him right square in the nuts. He drops and falls down. You hear Dan Hausen back. Okay, dog pile. All of them jump on him. And I'm laughing so hard I can't see straight. I literally am laughing so hard. Of course, he ends up doing the same thing to Miz. Miz drops. He does a five knuckle shuffle or whatever on Miz, but he uses the curse thing to hit the shot to the head. And then the midgets carry Miz out. Literally start to carry him up the wall. look like look like you're carrying him on their shoulders. Out we
Yeah.
go. It was so funny. I mean, I'm dying laughing. And I Danhausen is not a wrestler to me. To me, he's just not a wrestler. Somebody said, "Oh, he has good matches." I can't find a single match of his even on YouTube. I can't find anything of him actually wrestling. But as far as this, they put him with R-Truth. We've got gold. Honestly, that's going to be absolute gold. But whether or not they do or not, is another story. But anyway, he even looked at John Cena, does the "you can't see me" thing, and a big poof is supposed to happen. He's supposed to disappear. The poof happens. He looks around and says, "Oh crap!" and tries to hide and run. So it was a great comedy relief thing. So quite funny. But then we get to finish it all up. You know who? Let me see if I can find where we at. Where we at? That bad boy.
Oh yeah, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. So what'd you think of this match?
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
It was predictable. I would say that's just personal opinion. Predictable.
Did they both perform well?
Yes, they both
Roman
performed
Reigns always
extremely well.
does well in those big stages, you know. So
Yeah.
does Punk.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but again, we're talking about they get paid to do it on this level to start with. These guys don't do it on a weekly basis hardly at all. You know, Reigns has been a part timer really for the last several years, especially when he
Yeah.
was champion. Now, Punk, that one's an oddball one for me still because I think Punk, when he gets pissed off, he takes his ball and goes home no matter where he's at. You know what I mean? Um, no, Paige, that's not Aquaman. But I have seen him in the same movie with Aquaman, and quite frankly, Jason Momoa is probably a little bit taller than him, maybe wider. I don't know.
Well, you'll see them both in the same movie in Street Fighter.
Yeah, they did have a
Yeah.
preview. That was one of those commercials too. That was a
Yeah.
preview of that too. I just really freaking what was it? Is Cody Rhodes is playing Guile, I think.
Yeah. That was disappointing. I mean, it should have been John Cena playing Guile.
Mm,
It really should have been John Cena playing Guile.
I just don't know. I'm interested to see it just to see what it's like, but it looks to me like it's going to be something stupid. I'd
I
rather
think
see.
it's going to be silly, but it's going to be, yeah, I want to see it. But I know it's
Yeah,
going to be silly.
yeah. I'm not expecting no daggum Academy Award winning performance or nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's insane. But I want like I'm excited to see the next Mortal Kombat because I want to see Luke Cage. You know,
Right.
I want to see freaking what was his name? The dude from the boys and Star Trek. The hell's that dude's name? Want to play Bones?
Chun-Li
Carl
better have
Urban.
thick legs. Yep.
Carl Urban
Play Johnny Cage.
playing Johnny Cage, and I'm like,
Yep.
okay, I want to see that because I want to see how he brings it in because I like Carl Urban. He does great acting spots. So I mean, nobody else could I picture actually redoing Bones and being playing Bones in Star Trek other than him now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, Chun Li better have thick legs. I don't know. I hope so, but yeah, I mean, because
I don't like the girl they got playing Chun-Li. I feel like she's not hot enough. I feel like Chun-Li should be like a hottie, you know?
she is in the game. That's for damn sure.
She should be the ultimate hottie, but
Well, what I'm thinking about the original Street Fighter, the one with Jean Claude Van Damme.
yep.
Think about that one, and Of course, Raul Julia. I don't know how he got through that movie as sick as he was at that time. After going back and looking at it,
Yeah,
he was
that guy
supposed
filmed that guy filmed that whole movie with stage 4 stomach cancer.
yeah, and got hit a couple
Oh,
times in the stomach
dang. Yeah.
and took it. And I'm gonna tell you what, that man will always be in stud factor 5 for me because
Hmm.
that's like Chadwick Boseman. When he finished up the second or the first Black Panther movie, nobody knew
Yeah.
he was sick. He never let anybody knew. Yes, Nemo, Raul Julia did carry that movie. Um, he never let nobody know he was sick. I mean, and then all of a sudden you find out he's gone. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
That's the big C, man. It'll do that.
yep. I mean, you got Raul Julia did that in that movie. You got, well, look at Patrick Swayze doing the TV show The Beast. He
Hmm.
stayed on it until he could no longer stand. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
These guys are just they're toughness. It's a toughness that people don't get.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Killian Yang. Yeah, Nemo, you're right. Raul's the only reason. And Colonel Bison, I think was his name. Was the name of that dude? He was Colonel Bison, if I'm not mistaken.
General M. Bison.
General M. Bison.
Yeah.
Colonel, who was the colonel in? That was Colonel Bison.
Nope. It's M.
Either way,
Bison.
we know it's Bison. That's for sure. The Russian,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
No. M. Bison is from Thailand. Well, actually, no. It's undisclosed what country he represents.
Yeah,
But
but
the
he
final
was
stage in Street Fighter 2 is it takes place in Thailand. Although M. Bison himself is not Thai.
no, because I about to say he
Dude,
looks like.
I used to compete in Street Fighter tournaments, man. Trust me, I know my Street Fighter.
That don't mean nothing. I'm just telling you what he looks like. He looks like he's Russian.
No, Zangief is Russian.
Well, either way,
Yep.
that was Raul Julia
Anyway.
just did so many good shows. It wasn't even funny. I would have never
Yep.
pictured him as Gomez Adams either until after watching the first movie.
Hmm.
So first Adams Family. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Street Fighter might be an interesting thing because after all was said and done with the we didn't get any big returns. That's the thing that I always look forward to for WrestleMania.
Paige.
That's not a big
Paige.
return to me. I'm sorry. Paige
I
is
mean,
not
of
a
all
big
the
return.
returns, that's the biggest one I can think of.
That's the only return that I remember. Everybody else was already scheduled for the show. Other than I understand you get stuff like Braun Breaker. That's a return. No, I'm talking about new to the company type thing. Because quite frankly, I'm hoping that they could do something with what used to be Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, because he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on Friday. If they could do something with him, maybe
Yeah.
cross fingers. I hope because he's got all the gifts in the world. I think they need to make him heel and give him a dadgum, give him over to Paul Heyman. Let him be the next Brock. Other than that, that's all there was to it to me. Because, like I said, and this whole WrestleMania 2 years ago was the best WrestleMania
2 years ago.
that I've seen in a long time. That's
Would you
one where
say
the
this was
Rock
the?
when the Rock
Go
came
ahead.
back and when the Undertaker choked slammed him at the end.
Oh yeah.
Because when the Undertaker popped up, that was a true blue surprise. That was a
Yeah, nobody
WrestleMania moment.
expected that.
Without that, it might have been okay. I mean, but that was just one hell of a damn WrestleMania top to bottom, honestly. Because that first night you had Cody Rhodes and them going at it in a match before. You had people doing both nights. So this one, I could take it or leave it, honestly. Because quite frankly, it was damn near predictable.
Right.
Except for Oba. I didn't know for sure if they were going to if Oba was going to go over on Brock or not, or if Brock was going to, end up pulling it out or whatever.
People were thinking that they were going to be real pissed, like they were going to stop watching WWE if Brock had won.
Yeah, I've heard that bullshit before with a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you do that, if you put the title back on Cena, we're never watching again. Next week, they're right there. Well, how are they going to get the title off Cena now? Shut
Yep.
up and stop watching. You said you weren't going to watch. Please get out of my way. They would have hated to see the damn 80s and Ric Flair and Harley Race going around the territories and winning everything or holding on to that title everywhere they went on a dusty finish. Because at that time, you couldn't throw anybody over the top rope. So every week or every defense, somebody get thrown on the top rope and one referee would see it and reverse the decision every time. That's the dusty finish. Oh, well, though.
Oh, well.
Hey, we maintain 2 to 3 people at all times.
Yeah. I'm ready to call it quits, though.
Yep, I'm with you.
I got my shows to watch.
What shows tonight?
But yeah, guys, come back next week. We're gonna just resume on the Blondes. We're gonna do paranormal show and tell.
We hope, and it's supposed to be San Francisco.
Yep.
So yay! Let's figure out if we can actually do it. And yes,
Cool.
I'm going to shame Brandy until she shows up. Forsaking us
Alright.
like that.
Yeah, and go check her out on that other show that she's on right now.
And I think Paul's actually doing a show tonight.
Yep, I think Paul's up soon too, if he's not already up there.
Yes, Faith, I wasn't as addicted to Street Fighter as I was Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, but that tells you how old I am.
I was big into all of them, actually.
Galaga. All right, well, we will call it a night and have fun, everybody. Paige, you can watch your music here in just about 2 seconds. So,
cool.
Y'all have fun. We'll see y'all next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Welcome in, I'm Randy the Rambo Ski. It's the start of the show. Got Donny on the left and Paul is good to go. We're in the plastic knee deep. This ain't no time for sleep. It's truth or tinfoil, time to analyze the leap. Forget the ghost for a minute, we're talking field and court. Grab a phone ball, boys, let's file a sports report. In the ball pit, that's where the truth gets loud. Debating stats and shouting over the whole darn crowd. Paul's got the numbers, Donny's got the feel. Randy's spinning theories, showing what is real. From the trade deadline chaos to who will take the cup, we're breaking down the action, fill that bracket up. Donny says the tight end is faster than a comet. Paul brings up the injury risk and says let's be honest. Then Ramboski leans in with a mischievous look. What if the whole damn league is reading from a script and a book? Just a splash of 10 for them back to the game. Now tell me about the point spread, who deserves the fame? In the ball pit, that's where the truth gets loud. Debating stats and shouting over the whole darn crowd. Paul's got the numbers, Donny's got the feel. Randy's spinning theories, showing what is real. From the trade deadline chaos to who will take the cup, we're breaking down the action, fill that bracket up. Keep your eyes on the ball, keep your mind on the field. Tune in next time for the secrets that will be revealed.